Welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. We're in it's Wednesday night, October 11th, as we start this recording.
I can't wait.
Lee, why don't you open up with your thoughts on this past week's game, Week 5?
I don't know what to say. I mean, the offense isn't going. They had one drive at the end of the game. I saw that I guess they called an audible for George Pickens. It was called Randy for Mandy Moss, and that was the streak for him to score.
So, so I heard that the Randy may have been related to the line shift actually. And then,
for the line shift, okay.
But Kenny came out today and said that they also did change Pickens' route, but that was something they had put in all week. So,
okay.
We got to give credit to everyone in that scenario.
Got to give credit. Yeah.
So you can't leave out Canada. He's the one who implemented it during the week.
And even though he had no, I don't know if you saw during the game, they showed like the replay. There was no enthusiasm when he scored. I saw a meme that was saying that he was. That's his face, that he was upset that he placed a bet against the Steelers and lost the bet. But, the offense just couldn't get rolling. I mean, the defenses, man, I tell you, that defense is pretty good. I'm surprised they're ranked 30th from what I saw. With all the turnovers they have, I just don't see it.
I think those rankings are related to yards and points, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know exactly where you found that from. But I know
I think it was at the beginning of the game. They showed like
where the ranking,
with the ranking of like pass, rush, and overall. It was like, I think you're right for yards.
Yeah, I think it's probably yards then. Yeah.
And it said overall was 30th, and I was shocked. I was kind of shocked. I mean, it could be the yards. I didn't think they were giving up that much, but
the Houston offense pretty much did whatever they wanted the whole game, and then San Fran, the same thing happened. They were so efficient and just went down the field on us. I think that was the biggest issue there. That caused those numbers. But I don't know. After last week, it probably went down a little.
It probably went down a little bit, yeah. But the defense is really, TJ is just, he's the best defensive player in the league right now. I can't, you can't say it otherwise right now. I mean, he is just so good. That defense is really good. It just, the offense can't get rolling. I don't know. I'm starting to think Jaylen Warren might be a better running back than Najee.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of better runs and like little screen passes and like kind of out routes where he was just kind of open and was able to make some plays and get a lot of yards after the catch, so but
where I'm at with those two is, you got to remember, if Jaylen Warren becomes your number one guy, he's going to be in there first down, second down. He's not going to be available and as ready to take those screens and do everything else. And I think Najee's going to figure it out. I don't think that the line's been great, obviously.
No.
He showed enough at the end of last year that I think he's at least a serviceable back. And I think I like Kevin Warren healthy and rested for scenarios like late in games and third downs. So I'm fine with the setup now. I mean, if it continues this way, obviously you have to give Warren the shot. You have to keep adding reps and snaps to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, overall for me, after week 5, I've decided I'm just gonna enjoy myself. I'm not gonna get down anymore from this team. I know the offense isn't good. The defense is gonna be little hit or miss, but mostly hit. And I'm just gonna be happy. I'm not gonna. They're 3-2. They're not gonna win the Super Bowl unless something drastically changes. And there's nothing that I can really see that changes. Maybe Deontay Johnson's that important, and so if they get Deontay back, that changes things up with the offense. Maybe it was more
I don't know,
of an integral part than we thought at the time. Maybe the line. Maybe they can start to mesh as the more they play together. There were moves in the offseason that brought in new guys, and then maybe getting Dan Moore out of there and putting Broderick Jones, even though it was an injury. Hopefully it stays that way. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
they can start winning some Not even winning games. It's not about winning and losing. It's about scoring points in general. They need to just,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like
for
you're
sure.
saying, maybe they'll start scoring points. Maybe they'll start moving the ball downfield. Quarter mark of the season, so I thought it'd be a good time to look at some. I want to stick to players here because I know everyone's the first thing we're going to want to go to is candidate on all these questions. So
Yeah, I got
we can go into our MVP so far.
you. Okay.
I think we both have. This is the easiest one. I think we both have the same
Yeah.
answer. It's T.J. Watt.
It's TJ Watt,
Uh huh.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
What is
mean,
it? 8 sacks, I think, already.
yeah. It's
Through
just
5 games. I mean, it's just
uh huh.
it's
He's
he's
just
definitely
playing.
again, he's the best defensive player in the league right now.
Uh huh. I mean, his biggest competition probably is Highsmith, which is hilarious. I would
Oh
say
yeah. Yeah.
the two edge rushers are the only two guys that have been consistently great.
I mean,
Um,
would you say that we have I wouldn't say we're the best two edge rushers in the league, but top five? Would you put
yeah,
TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith?
definitely top five.
Yeah.
I gotta double check. Khalil Mack and um,
And Nick
but
Bosa.
yeah, or Joey Bosa, right? Yeah, Joey
Or
Bosa.
Joey Bosa, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick's on the sorry.
right off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joey
right
Bosa.
off the top of my head, those guys are
Yeah.
the ones that jump off. That would be the number one for sure. But
Yeah, I think it
after
was
them,
last week or 2 weeks ago. Khalil Mack, he recorded 6 sacks alone by
yeah,
himself in a game. It's
uh
just
huh.
crazy.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I put them number one, and then after that, I it's hard to argue against TJ and Alex Highsmith.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, for
Uh,
sure.
and so yeah, I think that's the same for both of us here. Next, we'll go to least valuable player so far. Um, you can go first if you want to on this one. It's a little tougher, I think.
Yeah,
If you need time to think, I can go first with mine if
I
you
was
want.
thinking Gunner.
Gunnar Olszewski, yeah, that was
Yeah,
I didn't even I overthought this one because that is the answer
yeah,
for the amount of impact he has had negatively in those
yes,
short
yes.
time period that the minimal touches. I saw now I'm not even sure, and he's had like 28 touches in his career, and he has like 4 or 5 fumbles in those 28 touches.
Oh,
That
yeah,
that's impossible.
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
that's a turnover over
Every like
20%
seven
of the
catches.
time.
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
ridiculous. You can't have that. I don't
You
know.
can't
I
have that
just
at all.
he can't. That fumble almost wrecked me, and that made that fumble, and then the that's why I'm
And then
just
the
gonna enjoy
catch,
the rest of the
yeah, the
season.
catch out of bounds. I don't know what you're
Yeah,
doing. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I'm
He's
just
my, yeah,
yeah. I'm at the point now that I'm just gonna enjoy this season.
yeah,
Hopefully Gunner's not out there, but if Gunner's out there, I'm just gonna be like, all right, Gunner,
yeah,
get at it.
yeah.
And then you see
Did you have somebody different?
so I was focusing on I was trying to look through and the group that I think has been the most disappointing for sure has been the offensive line.
Yeah, yeah.
Um and then on there's two guys that I brought it down to between Dan Moore and Mason Cole. And I just think
Okay, yeah,
d- you need a left tackle to be great, and Dan Moore's been
yeah,
his impact on the game has just been so bad.
yeah,
And I think I'm gonna
yeah.
go with him. I know Mason Cole's getting paid pretty good money, and he's been pretty awful too, especially in pass defense. So, but
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dan Moore as my guy there. I
Okay.
uh Next up, why don't we look into the biggest surprise player so far this season
I'm
in a
gonna have to go
positive way?
Jalen Warren. I'm gonna have to
Jalen
go
Warren,
Jalen
yeah, that's a
Warren.
good one there. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
he's
gonna have to go Jalen
especially
Warren.
last week. He was his whole energy
Oh yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank now. The play, the hurdle, I think
Yeah, the hurdle, then
set it.
spin, get down to the goal line,
Yeah, it just
yeah.
was. He was showing a fire that not many players on that team seem to be
Oh
showing right
yeah,
now.
for sure, for sure, for
Uh,
sure, for
that
sure.
that's
Yeah,
part of the reason why I would like to keep him as like a spark rather than having
yeah,
him beat up uh, for 20 touches a game and stuff like that.
yeah,
Each week in
yeah.
week out.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, I was thinking Highsmith, but I think part of it that he had such a good year last year. I think it's a little bit of a cop out to go Highsmith. So I think I'm going to end up picking Keanu Benton,
Okay.
the second round pick. I
Yeah.
when at the time of the draft, I didn't think anything of him, and he's instead played pretty well in his time so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good force in the middle.
Yeah.
So that I went with Benton there.
Okay. Okay.
Now, next will be the biggest disappointment player wise.
I'm gonna have to go Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, I had the same choice, but yeah, you go
on. Just because he's been talking every game. Before every game, he's running his mouth against players, and he really hasn't done it. He has one interception so far against the Raiders on that game. That was it Sunday night, Monday night. I can't remember. He's one interception the whole season. He was talking about, was it Brandon Ayuk against the 49ers?
Yeah.
And didn't do anything. He was talking about Zay Flowers last week, and Zay Flowers was the best receiver the Ravens had last week.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have the few drops he had, I mean, his numbers.
Oh
would
yeah, oh
amazing.
yeah, he could have, he easily, it would have been over 100 yards, maybe a touchdown or two if he didn't drop. And I think that, Patrick Peterson, I know he's a good cornerback. I know he's getting a little older. He's really good, but I think he just needs to go out there and play and not talk, about the players of the team that, what was he talking? He was talking about Brock Purdy. And he's talking about, I'm going to intercept him about 3 times. And that he didn't do anything. He got cooked by Brock Purdy.
That's my takeaway too, is like there's plays where he just gets beat, and you're just like, I guess Patrick Peterson's done. I guess he's just done. Another name I'll put in here, since I picked Dan Moore for the LVP, is I'll put Mason Cole in there. He's just been bad in the middle. I mean, his salary's not insane, but it's up there for this team. I was looking at today. He's probably like one of the top 10 highest salaries on the team, and he's awful.
Kenny Pickett's running for his life.
Yeah.
And I mean, he needs some more. He needs some better protection. Hopefully, they can watch some film over this bye week and see where their mistakes are, and maybe
they need they need to revamp so much. They just gotta I don't know.
I'll say real quick before we move on. I know that Big Ben was a runner. He liked to move around. He liked to play that backyard football. And I know Kenny probably did that, a good bit in college too. But it's like sometimes you can't have your quarterback just running around in the backfield all game, getting sacked and trying to make a play. And, I mean, it'd be nice if he had a line where like a Tom Brady and a Peyton Manning were able to stand there for a couple seconds to be able to throw the ball, but,
and
we'll see what happens.
Ben learned late in his career to get the ball out quick. I don't think the offense is set up that way to get the ball, because there's very few.
I don't think so either.
Very few receiver screens and anything like that. There's like nothing over the middle. There's so many curl routes and comeback routes. Those aren't gonna be there right away. It's they got to change it, like you're saying. Hopefully, Deontay Johnson coming back makes a big difference.
We'll see. We'll see.
You move. Allen Robinson's another guy we should probably at least reference for this spot. I mean, he's been pretty much a nothing. That's pretty rough. Nothing. But no, I don't know what you expected from him this year, but I expected him to be some kind of a first down threat, someone to get you the tough yards and stuff. But
I mean, when he was on the Rams with was it Matt Stafford? I mean, him and Cooper Kupp, I mean, they seemed like a good little duo wide receiver. They were making plays for him, and I don't know, maybe he's just not. Maybe it's our offense that's not working for him. I don't know, but I haven't seen, like you said, I haven't seen much of him at all.
the one thing we talk about up at Canada is I don't think anyone's being put in a position to be good. We
No.
give Kenny the most leeway on there, I think, but
Yeah.
I still think we've got to take that into account for the receivers too. You're probably right on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So the next two kind of similar, but I think you can tell the difference when I explain them. The first one will be the player who needs to step up, and then the player who you think will step up the rest of the season. So I'll go first. We were just talking about
all right, yeah.
you might agree. Maybe you can think of some other names too. If I'm stealing yours, is player that I think needs to step up is Kenny. We can give all the excuses in the world to Canada, but you still gotta make plays, and if you want to keep your job. And I'm fully behind the idea that Mitch Trubisky is not the answer, and there's no reason to put Mitch and Mason. That people try to, oh, Mason hasn't got a shot. Neither one of them are the answer either. We need Kenny to be the answer, and that's why I think he's the one that needs to step up for the rest of the season. Maybe it's taking the reins a little bit. Maybe just be more aggressive with audibles. Just do it and then ask for permission later. Instead of worrying about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Kenny as well. I was also thinking about Najee.
Yeah, that's a good one there
as well. You watch the preseason games with Kenny, and he was only getting one offensive drive, but it looked like that first team offense was going down.
Yep.
Each drive they had going down the scoring, and it looked like the offense was moving pretty good. Sure, it was preseason, and not all the defensive starters were probably in for all the teams. But it looked like they had a little bit of a rhythm where they were moving. And since the season has started with 5 games, he almost looks like he's a little nervous out there still, and
it's
not sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He looks like he did at the first couple of games. The previous, I mean, he looks worse, I think, than last year. I think he worse. Even the beginning when he had he had a ton of interceptions early on last year. But I mean, this has been bad. He got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We can blame Canada all we want, but you got to do something. Yeah, go on with Najee.
Yeah, and Najee, he's supposed to be our number 1 running back, and he'll have one play here, one play there, but I can't just blame it all on him. I mean, the offensive line probably not blocking for him, but he's still got to find his holes and find where he's supposed to go to, get some extra yards. I mean, there's been some games where I saw where we've started in the negative yards for rushing, you know what I mean? And it doesn't look good. And so, with him being our number 1 running back, he kind of has to kind of step up as well. I'm hoping maybe he can watch some film of himself, see, maybe he's missing some spots that he should be hitting as well, but I agree with you. I think Kenny is the bigger one that needs to step up. If he's going to be our leader and our captain and our quarterback moving forward, he has to definitely do some more film watching and, kind of pay attention to see what's going on a little bit more. Use this bye week to kind of maybe revamp, like you said, his game a little bit and, kind of see where he's having issues. And again, he's still weak, a year 2 quarterback, but, I'm not saying that every quarterback's the same, but, it's like you said, Mitch Trubisky is not the answer. Mason Rudolph is not the answer. Kenny's supposed to be the guy we drafted and the guy moving forward. So, like you said, I agree with you. I think he's the bigger one that needs to step up.
I mean, and I'm a big Kenny backer, but I mean, if we look to next year, it's a good quarterback class in the draft. And if it's 2 years in, it sounds crazy, but if there's someone better next year, you might have to make the move if he doesn't step up, like we're talking.
Yeah.
Going back to Najee, my biggest thing with him is he just doesn't have speed. He's slow.
No.
I think that's his biggest problem. He breaks enough tackles. He does all that. He doesn't have that like second gear that you need. That extra gear, I guess, more than say. I think everyone has that second gear, but the extra gear you need to be an elite running back, he just doesn't have it.
No.
So finally, my player who will step up is going to be Minka. I think so far he hasn't played bad, but he hasn't made those plays that he makes that like puts him up in like the defensive player of the year categories and stuff like that. So I think he's the guy I'm looking to that will step up. But
yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. I definitely agree with you on that. I think yeah, he's the bigger one. I think offensively, I think George Pickens, my guy right there for he's gonna definitely step up too. I think I understand they're not getting him the ball enough, and he's a very talented receiver. It's just the offense isn't clicking, and I think he's gonna step up after this break. I think he's gonna be making some bigger plays if they can get him incorporated. But I think him, and yeah, I think I also agree with you on Minka as well. Yeah.
Let's look to the future here. The next 4 games we got going on are the Rams, then the Jaguars, Titans, and Packers all coming out of the bye week this week. So we don't got too much extra time here, it looks like. So we can look into who do you think will be the toughest test from those 4 games and best matchup, and then who do you think we best match up with it, and then maybe just give a prediction on our record during that stretch if you want.
I think the toughest one is going to be the Jags. I think that the one will match up against best will be the Rams. I think we should beat the Titans and Packers, but again, as we saw against that Houston game, you know what I mean? You just never know. I want to say they'll go 3-1, but I think my prediction is 2-2 over that stretch.
Yeah, for me, I think I agree on the toughest test. I think the Jaguars are that. Like of those 4 teams, I think they have the most consistently good offense, and that scares me. And then their defense is not bad either. So I think they'll got the number 1 team to worry about there. Best matchup, I think, is the Titans for kind of the opposite. I don't think their offense is that impressive, and I think that our defense will play well against them. And on top of that, we don't have to score as many points as we will against the Jags. Rams, I'm curious how it's going to go with the Rams. I think the defense will get a lot of I'll even go. I was gonna say pressure, but I'll even go. I think they'll have a lot of sacks. I think they'll get 4 or 5 sacks against Stafford that game. We'll see if I'm wrong or not. But then the Packers is I think the wild card to decide whether or not they're gonna. Obviously the cop out answer is they can win all these games, they can lose all these games. I think I'm thinking 2-2. Like you said it on 2-2, right?
Yeah, I said I think they could go 3-1, but I think it's going to be 2-2.
Yeah, right now maybe I'm being a pessimist, but I think it'll be 2-2. But I'm worried it'll be 1-3. So we're kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's tough, but coming out of the bye, hopefully they can fix some things. And if they can fix some things, I can see that 3-1. But nothing I've seen so far can make me go higher than 2-2. And I'm very concerned of a 1-3 for sure.
No, I hear you on that. And with the Rams, Cooper Kupp's back. He's going to be a problem. Derrick Henry with the Titans is a problem. Always. Jordan Love's been looking good for the Packers. Again, he's another rookie. You would think that, maybe we'll have a better chance against a rookie, but look what AJ Stroud just did to us. Or CJ Stroud just did to us. And then the Jags, like you said, they just offensively and defensively right now they're looking really good.
How was Houston on a bye last week? They weren't. Were they on a bye last week? I can't remember off the top of my head.
No. They might have.
No, been. They played the Falcons.
No, they played the Colts. Oh, the Falcons. Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at the box score now. I was just curious how CJ did. I mean, he went 20 of 35 for 249, only 1 touchdown. They gave him a QBR 53.3. So I mean, that's not as well as he played against the Steelers, and that's a bad sign. I think that he's able to play so well against us, and I don't think Dan Quinn's a good. Is Dan Quinn still there? Now I'm saying I'll.
No, he's with the Dan Quinn's with the Cowboys. I think he's their defensive coordinator.
Wow, Dan Quinn was with them. It's been years now, but that's how bad I am with their defense. How I feel about their defense. I guess I don't even know who's on their coaching staff.
Oh yeah,
but I don't think of the Falcons as juggernaut defense.
No.
Yeah, so in comparison, Stroud was 16 of 30 for 306 and 2 touchdowns and a 76.8 QBR against us.
Wow.
So,
wow.
That's something
that scares me, like you said. Yeah.
Look to compare and see how it goes the rest of the year, because
I
don't know if the defense. We need the defense to be elite.
They're the only things keeping us in the games right now. Them and Boswell being automatic,
Yeah, it's so beautiful to have Boswell, for sure.
Yeah.
Boswell,
yeah,
just consistently making field goals. It's nice to have. It's something that you don't think of until you don't have it, and then once you don't.
No, exactly.
But I think we can wrap it up there. It's a nice little show. Thank you for watching the Pittsburgh Sports Savior.